Hey guys, so you've got quite a high up with me today because of how awkward I had to set up my camera so that it wasn't too glary from the sun, because as you can see here through my window it's very glary. Now, I thought for this video, since I'm not doing a conspiracy theory this week because you had one last week and you're getting one next week, and because so much research has gone into it, I'm going to tell you some of my favourite things, such as like my favourite films, my favourite songs, my favourite television programmes, and basically just tell you three of my favourite from like some of the categories I've got here. And I'm going to tick them off as I go so I don't say them about 500 times because I forget. And this way you get to learn a bit more about me, and then when I'm going through these you can drop yours in the comments down below. We can get to know each other a little better. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on with the video. So at this current point in time, my three top favourite songs are This Is Me from the Greatest Showman soundtrack, I Lived from, I can't remember what album it's from, but it's a One Republic song, and Pigs Can Fly, which is a song that was released by James Bourne of Busted. He wrote this when Busted had just reformed again, and it was basically his way of like putting into words saying, oh my god, this has happened. The band has got back together, pigs can fly. My three favourite movies at this point in time. I watched quite a lot of movies and like different movie franchises, but the three that have sort of really stuck with me are A Nightmare on Elm Street, because of just how I'm into that sort of horror thing, and that was the first horror film I truly sat and watched and was interested in, and it's just sort of stuck with me all this time. I love Inspector Gadget because I used to watch the cartoons, and when I watched the actual like Disney made film, I loved it and I just couldn't get over it. And the other one is A Street Cat Named Bob, because I've read the book and I think it's a good screen adaptation from the book, and I like the fact that they actually used Bob, the cat in question, in the film. At this point in time, I don't really read too much, but I do read a little bit. And some of my favourite books at this point in time are Why is Snot Green? Because I've had this book for quite a while, and it's sort of a sciencey related book, but just because of the title I got intrigued, and I actually sat down and read it, and it's got a lot of different facts and it goes into it and asks lots of questions, and it's quite educational, which I liked. I also liked Black Beauty because that's one of them classics that everyone just adores, well, especially me. I just loved it and I've never sort of been able to get over it. I read it, well, not quite frequently, but I read it a lot when I sort of get the chance to, because it's one of them books. And the other one that I like reading a lot is Username Evie, because for someone that I struggle reading sometimes, like I don't have diagnosed dyslexia or dyslexia of any kind, but sometimes I really do struggle to read. And because that's a graphic novel, most of the story is through pictures and I find it a lot easier to understand. Now, my three favourite bands currently are Busted. They've been a favourite for a long time, and as I mentioned earlier about loving James's song, I like Busted, and I've actually seen them live in 2017 was the first time I saw them, and I saw them live 3 times in 2017. I didn't even think I'd probably get to see them once, but I saw them 3 times in 1 year, and now I'm just waiting for the next tour so I can go and see them again. I also love the band Queen. I mean, they're one of them bands that they're iconic, and everyone has a band that's kind of an iconic sort of statement band that they really like, and Queen is actually one of my favourites. Just recently, I've seen a lot of advertisements coming out for Bohemian Rhapsody, and I'm quite looking forward to that film. I think there will probably be quite a lot of karaoke going on in the cinema when that film comes out, and at the point you're seeing this, the film could be out. It may just be about to come out, because I'm not sure when this is coming out, but I just love that band. And my other band that I love a lot completely different from the last two, is Black Veil Brides. When I was sort of going through my emo phase, I got into like My Chemical Romance and all that, but I didn't really sort of stick to them. And when I found Black Veil Brides, they sort of spoke to me, and I just love that band. I don't care what songs they bring out. I learn the words pretty much instantaneously. This is someone that can't remember a maths equation, but I remember about 500 song lyrics that I listen to on a daily basis. So they're my three favourite bands at this point in time. They don't change too much, but they're my top three at the moment. Here is where I show that I'm a bit of an old woman in a sense, because one of my favourite TV programmes is Home and Away. If you don't know what this is, it's an Australian television programme that airs a lot in the UK, and I normally sit down and watch it. The storyline does get a bit confusing from time to time, but I just like watching it. It's something that I watch with my mum, and we just get a bit too into it sometimes, and we discuss the storyline and how there's plot errors and stuff, but it's something that we really love and both enjoy. I also like watching Jane the Virgin. I'm actually watching that on Netflix. I'm kind of getting through a lot of different things on Netflix. My Netflix profile is kind of all over the place. I'm only on season 2 on Netflix, but I have watched the whole thing. But I'm rewatching it because obviously you will rewatch these things, and I like it. And my other favourite is Friends. That's probably another statement one that a lot of people like, but I just like it because of conspiracies around it, and it's one of them programs you watch when you're younger and everyone sort of knows it, and it's set in New York, and I love New York, as you probably can tell by that picture up there. Anyway, they're my favourite TV programs at the moment, I would say. My 3 favourite YouTubers to watch are, well, the first one is Amazing Phil, who I kind of watch on a religious basis. I love his content. He's not one of these creators that just is all over the place and their content doesn't make sense. He makes what he wants and when he wants, and he's an innocent creator. He doesn't push his views on anyone. He doesn't swear in his videos. He doesn't do things that a younger audience wouldn't be able to not watch. So he caters for a whole wide range. And I think that that's why he's also got quite an older viewing as well, because these people find him so innocent and sweet. So, Amazing Phil. I watch Thatcher Joe a lot because I find his content quite amazing. I love his content. I loved his pranks. He doesn't do so many as much now, but I just love all of his videos. Pretty much for the same reasons I love Phil. And I also love a creator who's called Molly Burke. She's actually a blind YouTuber, which I just think is amazing. I love her content. She's so inspirational, and I'm someone that worries about losing my sight because obviously you can tell that I wear glasses, so my sight isn't the best, but I'm worried about losing mine, and she's put things into perspective for me of even if I do lose my sight, I can still do things that I love. People will support me. It's just finding the right people in my life that will do that, and so she's an inspirational creator for me. I will actually leave Molly's YouTube channel down below if you haven't checked it out, because she's amazing, and also her guide dog is pretty cute. Going on to my favourite video games, I love Five Nights at Freddy's. I just adore it. My favourite character is Springtrap, so you can probably tell if you know the franchise that I quite like the third game, because Springtrap is featured quite a lot in that game. This is going to sound like a really weird one to some people, but if anyone remembers the PS1, they will know of Pac-Man World, and this game I used to play on a religious basis. Again, I love this game. It was probably the first video game I actually played, and it just spoke volumes to me. And my other one is Kirby. He's that little pink blob with red shoes. He's just adorable, and I love that game. Now, I put down on here for my final one dog breeds. I only sort of really have one favourite dog breed, as you can probably tell from previous videos, because of the dog that I have. It's a Jack Russell. I love Jack Russell Terriers. Just fight me, I don't care. I think they're adorable. They're sweet little dogs and they're quite easy to take care of. They are noisy little bumholes at times, but I wouldn't change my dog for the world. Anyway, guys, that was some of my favourite things. I realise I've been talking for quite a while, but if you want to, you can drop down in the comments below your list of your favourite things. It doesn't have to be 3 of each. It can just be one favourite song. It can be more than 3. Or if you have other things that you like, let me know. So like this video if you liked it, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell and you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. Okay, I'm gonna go and do more research for some conspiracy theory videos. I shall see you later. Bye!